Can you really retire at 55 and still be okay? If you're asking that, you're not alone. Retiring at 55 is a dream for many, but it often comes with big questions about Social Security. For example, did you know leaving work at 55 could mean your future Social Security check might be 10% smaller than the estimated amount shown on your Social Security statement? Today we'll break down exactly what happens to your Social Security if you retire early, and how to plan accordingly so you can retire with confidence. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of how to fund your lifestyle from age 55 until Social Security kicks in, at what age you can start claiming Social Security, Social Security's 35-year rule for calculating benefits, and the opportunity cost of leaving work at 55. My hope is that after watching this video, you can begin to evaluate your financial situation and determine whether or not early retirement is right for you. This is a big step, but with the right info, you can feel informed and confident about your decision. We've got a lot to cover today, so let's dive right in. Funding your retirement before Social Security. If you retire at 55, one of the biggest things to plan for is the income gap between when you stop earning a salary and when you can start claiming Social Security. The current rules state the earliest you can begin Social Security retirement benefits is age 62. That means between the ages of 55 to 62, or whenever you ultimately claim Social Security, you'll have no Social Security income. During this period, you must create cash flow from your own savings or other income sources. For example, you might have to withdraw from your 401k, IRA, or other investment accounts. Maybe you're one of the lucky ones with a pension that starts at age 55. Or you have cash flowing rental property or a significant investment portfolio that spins off sufficient dividends and interest. As you consider these income sources, one thing to remember is if you draw down on your retirement accounts prior to age 59 and a half, you may be subject to an early withdrawal penalty of 10%. So you'll need to have sources of income beyond just your retirement account balances to help you avoid that penalty. One large expense you will need to cover is medical insurance. Many people don't think about this, since many people have their insurance either partially or fully subsidized by their employer. And remember, Medicare won't kick in until age 65. So make sure you plan accordingly, because the cost of medical insurance can be surprising. This gap could be a great time to do some serious tax planning. One strategy would be strategic Roth conversions during these years when your income is low. Also, once you are older than 59 and a half, you can just draw down on these balances for living expenses. Doing an analysis of your projected income during your lifetime, given the required minimum distributions you'll need to take later, can help you decide if this is a good strategy for you. This type of analysis should be part of any comprehensive retirement plan. I did a video on how much RMDs can be on $1 million based upon people's ages. It does a great job of illustrating the level of income you may be forced to take later on in life. If you have a large pre-tax retirement account, you'll definitely want to check it out. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Social Security claiming ages, age 62, 67, or 70. Even though you retire at 55, you have choices for when to start Social Security. The three common ages discussed are 62, 67, and 70. Age 62 is the earliest you can start benefits. However, claiming at 62 means your monthly benefit will be lower. How much? About 30% less than if you waited until age 67. However, the trade-off is you receive checks earlier for a longer period of time. Age 67 is generally considered full retirement age, although it can vary slightly by birth year. At full retirement age, you get 100% of your earned benefit. Many people plan to take their benefit around this age, but it's not mandatory to wait that long, especially if you're retired and you need the income sooner. Age 70. If you delay claiming past your full retirement age, your benefit increases to the maximum amount thanks to delayed retirement credits. These credits raise your benefit by 8% for each year you wait past age 67. By age 70, those credits stop, so there's no incentive to wait to claim your benefits after age 70. For someone with full retirement age of age 67, waiting until age 70 boosts their monthly benefit to roughly 124% of their full benefit. That translates into a significantly larger check than if they claimed at age 67 or age 62. But you will have to wait just that much longer. So how do you decide when to claim? It depends on your situation. If you retire at 55, by the time you hit 62, you might be eager to start tapping into your Social Security income. Many early retirees do claim at age 62 to help staunch the bleeding of their savings. But if you have other resources to hold you over, you might delay Social Security to get the higher amount. It's a bit of a balancing act. Smaller checks for a longer period of time versus larger checks for a shorter period of time. Factors like health, life expectancy, financial needs, and whether or not you have other income play into this decision. The key point is you have options. Retiring at 55 doesn't lock you into claiming at 62. It just means 62 is the earliest you can start. You could retire at 55 and still choose to wait until 67 or 70 to claim benefit if that works with your retirement plan and you have the savings to support yourself. Make sure you understand how this works. I've done several videos on Social Security claiming strategies. I'll put links to those videos in the description below. There are pros and cons to each. Make sure you know what they are so you can make the decision that is best for you. The 35-year Social Security formula. The 35-year rule is a core part of how Social Security calculates your benefit, and it's critically important to understand how it impacts you if you decide to retire early. Here's the deal. Social Security bases your retirement on your highest 35 years of earnings. They look at your lifetime earnings, adjust them for inflation, pick the 35 highest earning years, and then average those to figure out your benefit. What if you don't work the 35 years? Many people who retire at 55 won't have a full 35-year work history, especially if you started working in your early 20s after college. If you have less than 35 years of earnings, Social Security will fill in the missing years with zero earnings. Every year without earnings, like the years from 55 until you actually claim benefits, counts as a zero in that average. Those zeros will drag down your average and reduce your monthly benefit. Even if you do have 35 years of work by 55, keep in mind not all years are equal. Chances are, some of your early career years had pretty low earnings. Social Security still includes those low earning years in your top 35 if they are among your highest. And if you retire at 55, you are locking in those lower earning years in the calculation. Why is that? Because you won't be adding new high earning years after 55 to replace them. Years with no earnings or low earnings will be averaged in when determining your benefit. Missing out on peak earning years, the opportunity cost. There is an opportunity cost for retiring at 55. Opportunity cost is the loss of potential gain from other alternatives when one alternative is chosen. In layperson's terms, it's what you give up by making a choice. In this case, by leaving the workforce at 55, you might be giving up some of your highest earning years. Many people reach their peak earnings in their late 50s or early 60s, especially if you've been climbing the corporate ladder. Your salary today is significantly higher than it was in your 20s or 30s. Those high earning years can do a lot to boost your Social Security calculation if you work through them. But by retiring at 55, you're missing out on those potentially high earning income years that could have replaced low income years in your Social Security formula. This is one reason your benefit might end up being smaller than projections you see on your Social Security statement. In fact, the Social Security Administration assumes in its projections that you will keep working until you start benefits. When you check your Social Security statement or those annual letters, the estimated benefits for age 62, 67, 70, etc. are based upon the assumption that you continue earning at your current level until those ages. If you stop work at 55, those estimates are higher than what you'll actually get because in reality, you won't have the earnings from 55 onward. So don't be surprised if the actual benefit amount is lower than the early estimates. It's just that you retired early and the formula updated with those zero earning years. How much might your benefit be reduced by retiring at 55? It varies by each person, but I can give you a general idea. If you have a long work history and your recent earnings weren't much higher than your past ones, the hit might be small. But if you were at a career high income and you cut those years out, the impact could be bigger. The good news is that 5 to 10% reduction in Social Security isn't usually a deal breaker if you've planned well. Yes, you might get a few couple $100s less per month than you would have having worked longer, but that's the trade-off. for enjoying those extra years of retirement. And you could make this up with your savings or by adjusting spending. Just make sure you incorporate these different factors into your retirement plan. Also remember that Social Security benefits aren't cut as a punishment for retiring early. You're just ceasing to add new credits. Long story short, retiring at 55 likely means a smaller Social Security check than if you worked till 67. But with a proper plan, early retirement can still be totally worth it. Imagine enjoying those extra years of freedom, pursuing hobbies or traveling, all the while knowing you've got your income strategy squared away. That peace of mind comes from understanding the numbers and making a solid plan. I did a video that may help you decide whether claiming Social Security early or late is right for you. It's called a Social Security break-even analysis. And if you're still deciding what Social Security claiming strategy is right for you, you'll want to watch this video. You can find a link to that video here. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.